Now, the Fix the Country movement, which started only as a Twitter hashtag, has now morphed into a movement that wants to put Ghana's political class on its toes. In a demonstration held in Accra on Wednesday, many of the members, clad in red and black, held placards that read, "Fix the roads, fix our education system," among others. The protesters, mainly young people, are complaining about the lack of jobs, corruption and poor infrastructure and want government to fix the country immediately. Manuel Cranton was at the demonstration and now reports.
Arise, youth for your country. The nation demands for devotion. Let us all unite to abortion and make strong.
After 3 months of back and forth with the pleas that traveled through the country's courts, finally, one of Ghana's most talked about demonstrations happened on Wednesday. What started as a Twitter hashtag has now morphed into a movement that is seeking to put Ghana's political class on its toes. From as early as 6 a.m., people were already massing up.
The scores of demonstrators on the principal streets of Accra today, August 4, with varied placards with various inscriptions. Wamane in Ghana translates as "This is our country." Those supposed to serve eat more than the ones they serve. These are placards that they are hoisting. Fix the responding ex gratia now. A lot of the other placards all pointing to the same spot, that various sectors of the economy and other spaces of national life which need attention must be fixed now.
I think that's very important that we show that we reject the attitude of the government and we want to create a culture of dissent. It's important that we create a culture of dissent. We show our disapproval.
We are tired of the lies. Article 71 office holders are lies. It is bogus. It is a calculated attempt to steal us. We are tired of the mendacilloquence, the Zabanism, and the political prostitute.
Since Akufo-Addo came into government in the last 5 years, how many of the community high schools that Mahama was building, how many of them has he completed? How many of these children have not been sitting under these schools and the trees for the last 4 years? Recently, we saw that they said the rosewood that's been exported illegally, they're going to donate it to the cathedral. Would it not be better used if we use it to build schools for these children who are going to schools under trees?
This is rare. Demonstrations in Ghana have largely been led by the two major political parties, the NPP and the NDC. This is different. Here's one of the lead campaigners, Ernesto Yeboah.
As you can see, this is the youth of Ghana speaking. They are tired of NPP, NDC moribund leadership. They are sick of the system. And this is the time for them to voice their concerns. But more beyond it is the fact that today, August 4, is a rebirth of Ghana. And this in itself is a manifestation of that rebirth. But this is not the end. This is actually the beginning. If there are no leaders, the youth will rise up and lead this country to a better future. And that's simply the message we are sending to the rest of the world.
But of course, I'm sure the rest of the world is listening. There's no particular thing that you are requesting to be fixed. Run us through why we're not asking for A to be fixed or B to be fixed, but it seems to be a round of a lot of things.
We won't allow them to fool us anymore. We are not presenting any list to them. Nobody's voice is more than the other. Nobody has more than one vote. We are all equal and we all deserve to be listened to, because we are citizens of this country. If they care, if they are leaders enough, there is only one thing we expect from them: to listen, and to listen to each and every one of us. This is why we are not presenting any list.
This may be one street protest and hundreds have joined, but there are thousands of others who have joined the protest on virtual platforms like Twitter, where it all started. Madam Ifiatenge speaks for Accra Region Police.
The leadership has been very cooperative in our discussions as far as the routes are concerned. And so this is the route that we have earmarked purposely for this demonstration. So and I'm surprised that when we got here, and you can see those who are insisting on going straight, they were the people who were not parts of the initial agreements. And so the leadership are aware, they are asking us to exercise restraints and that they are going to ensure their followers adhere to the routes that have been earmarked.
Talk to me about COVID protocols. There was a definitive instruction that people must adhere to COVID protocols if they want to join the march. What's been your observation and how do you assess it?
Yes, for COVID protocols, I keep on saying, and the command's position has always been that for such a gathering of this nature, it is always impossible that people would adhere to all the COVID-19 protocols, especially when it has to do with the physical distancing. And so for crowds like this to adhere and also observe the spacing, that one, it's not possible. For that one, I know that they are going to flout it, or there's going to be some breaches. But for the wearing of mask, we know that it has been very basic, and we have admonished each one of us to take personal responsibility of their own safety.
After more than 5 hours of walking through the principal streets of Accra, the protesters converged at the Black Star Square to round up proceedings. They say this may be the first of many more to come. For now though, it waits to be seen whether this would be enough to indeed get the country fixed. Reporting for Joy News, Manuel Kranting.
Still on the Fix the Country protest, demonstrators say they will continue to pile pressure on government until the country's problems are fixed or addressed. The organizers, who described Wednesday's protest as a success, announced it will be replicated across the remaining 15 regional capitals. There's more in this report.
Sassini, airport and Demaye, Moja, Nanalu Sheru Yadeto, a Trubenuso, a Drume, Sebaya Biatwaso, Biatwaso Kotokane.
It was a charged atmosphere after speakers who took turns to address the crowd chronicled what they see wrong with the country's governance system. The central message at the Independence Square was the need for a new constitution. The leaders of the group argue that the 1990 constitution favors political actors instead of the ordinary Ghanaian. Former presidents since the inception of the Fourth Republic were accused of being the main architect for the country's wobbling economic status. One of the leaders of the group, Oliver Bakafumao, addressing the crowd, announced that the group will continue to stage similar protests across the remaining 15 regions.
We are all hungry in this country, and we won't allow tribalism to divide us. From here, we are going to Kumasi, Tamale, Ho, and because we want all of us to participate in this demonstration. It's a 419 republic. We will resist the Sakawa 1992 constitution.
Republic, a 419 republic. 419 republic. It's a 4th republic, Article 71 republic. Yeah, baby. Sakawa constitution.
Some of the protesters who spoke to Joy News say they will be disappointed should government fail to address their concerns.
The generation want to tell the leaders of the country that indeed whatever that is going on, they are aware, and the effect of it, they can feel it, the essence of it, they understand it. If it doesn't yield positive result, that means the president is not a listening president. If the president is a listening president, the Minister of Information should have been here. Some important leaders of the country might have been here. Because this is not a political rally, it's not a political campaign, it's not a political demonstration.
I believe that whatever that we sought to tell the people, we sought to tell the leaders, they've heard us. And if they do not do whatever we ask for, we are coming back again. I believe so. I feel it.
So you think this will yield the necessary or positive result that you expect?
Yes. And Even if it does not yield it, we are coming back again. I believe so.
Even before the start of today's demonstration, some health experts were concerned it could cause a spike in the country's COVID-19 cases. Joy News cameras captured the blatant disregard for some of the protocols. Felicity Nelson, one of the conveners, said the group would not accept any blame should there be a spike in the country's COVID-19 cases.
Chief Medical Director of the Ghana Health Service, actually after Christmas, after the elections, when the numbers went up, actually mentioned that there's no evidence that shows that open air events leads to a spike in cases. So as far as I'm concerned, he's the Chief Medical Director of the Ghana Health Service, so I'm going to take his word for it. So if we cannot attribute us going for elections, even though there was COVID in the system, and us going on all these health walks and whatever before the elections, if that did not lead to the spike in cases, why then should we take responsibility for a spike in cases now because we've been on the demonstration?
Over 5 crowd control vehicles and over 15 pickup vehicles packed with armed police officers were deployed to escort the demonstrators through the designated routes. But the Accra Regional Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Efiatenge, responding to the concerns, explained the reason for the deployment.
The police deployed based on our own assessment of the events that we have today. And so I don't think anybody should question the police's security arrangements for this particular exercise. It is a demonstration, and so it wasn't for anything that the law requires that if you want to embark on a demonstration, notify the police for the police to prepare adequate security arrangements for it. So if we have done so, I don't think anybody should question the police's deployment for this exercise.
I think the numbers are okay.
So to us, if we think that this was the best that we could deploy to ensure a successful event, and we have achieved it.
There were